Hi everybody, it's Kate. Today I am talking about freaking Camp Rock 2, The Final Jam. I had never seen this before. Like, I loved the first Camp Rock movie. I watched it like in middle school and I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And I did make a video on the first one. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the movie. They all go back to Camp Rock, like that's kind of the main thing of this. It's the next summer. Mitchie goes to Camp Rock with her mom, who's doing catering once again. While they're all at the camp, they notice that there's like another camp across the lake called Camp Star. It's by this guy who used to be in a band with the Cesario who runs this camp, and he's like the British guy. And then the guy from the other camp, his name is Turner because he's a freaking turncoat. Yeah. Shane and his brothers, who's Joe Jonas, they all go to the camp as well, but while they're going, they're like going on their tour bus. So they're going, but their tour bus breaks down, and Shane is trying to fix it because the driver is like, it's unfixable, I don't care, we called the tow truck, which it's like, babe, it's a flat tire. I'm sure it's a little bit different on a tour bus, but it can't be that hard. Also, if you're a driver, you should at least know the mechanics of a car. I mean, the thing you're driving to be able to fix it. So he's doing it. He's trying to change the tire. And then after he thinks he does it, Jason, who is Kevin Jonas, one of the other brothers, is like, hey, you might need this. I found it on the ground. And it's like one of like the nuts from like the tire. Literally like a raven just picks up like shiny things. But then he's like, why didn't you tell me this earlier? He's like, well, I forgot until just now. And then the tour bus falls onto its side and rolls down a hill. After they do get to camp, like they finally get there because they're on like a hay ride almost, but like some farmer picked them up and drove them there. And it's like, okay, we're gonna do the opening jam, which is when they sing at the very beginning of camp. These like parachute things start flying down while they're singing. Personally, if I saw this, I would be like, they're bombs. Like literally like Hunger Games, blowing up all the kids type shit, because it's like, I don't trust this. Like, they're gonna try to wipe us out. But they open it, and it's s'more stuff. So you're like, oh my gosh, they brought us s'more stuff. And then it's like, you're invited to do opening jam first night with us. Come over here on your boats. They all go, and it's not a campfire. Like, it's like a giant, like, pyrotechnics Coliseum-esque. This one's, like, much more, like, serious, where they're not, like, where there aren't like any like little kids, and it's like they're trying to be like the best of the best and trying to have like breakout, like they want to be stars. There's a separate part where Jason, Kevin Jonas, is like, hey kid, is that a camera? Like one of the Camp Rock campers, and this is after they'd gone to the boats and they were already at the Camp Star, and he's like, hey, let me see that. And then the kid's like, no, this is my camera. He pulls it so hard that he flings it into the lake.
Is that a camera, bud?
Don't touch it.
What, do you think I'm gonna drop it in the water?
I don't know why they added this. It's like, why would you just take someone's camera in the first place? So they're like, you have to go get it, and he jumps in the lake and gets wet, and I'm like, he deserves worse. I wish this lake had sharks in it, you know? No, that's too far. And then while this is happening, Nate, aka Nick Jonas, meets this girl who I thought she was really old, but it was just this like, it was just like one scene where she looks older, but I think she's their age. Hopefully. And he's like upset because he's like, I don't want anyone to be at this camp, blah 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 blah. And then she's like, hey there, party boy.
There's no way I'm staying at this bonfire.
Hey, pouty boy. You better hurry, the bonfire's about to start.
I feel like I'm getting boiled alive from the inside. It was so gross and it's so awkward. And their storyline is my least favorite. I'm not gonna get into it right now, but I'm just gonna say he is the biggest creep in the entire world, and they try to make it endearing and funny. Like, this guy needs to be arrested. While they're all performing, it's like a crazy performance with like a ton of people and this one guy who's doing like dances, and they're all doing dances. And the girl who was flirting with Nate, she's like dancing, she's like, woo! And then her bracelet, it's the funniest scene in the entire movie. Her bracelet flings off, and it doesn't just go up, it goes across the entire stage into the audience and hits Nate in the face. So then he's like, oh, whoa. So then she comes back later and he's like, here's your bracelet. And she's like, you can keep it if you want. He's like, here.
You can keep it if you want.
What would I do with a bracelet?
Because he's like super awkward. We also find out that this girl, whose name is Dana, is Turner's daughter. So like the mean, evil camp guy's daughter is Dana, but she's like really sweet. At the end of the performance, they're like, hey, if anybody wants to join Camp Star, you can. And it's like, you can't just like switch camps after your parents had probably like signed waivers and paid for you to be there. Like, you can't just like switch over camps, but some do, which is so crazy because it's like, you can't just do that mid-year. Like, you'd probably have to wait till like next year, or at least have your parents buy you a place to do like buy you both, so then you can just swap over, you know, because it's like if you've already paid for it, it's probably like you can't cancel after you're already there. A lot of the camp counselors switch over too, which it's like, girl, you were hired for a job. You can't just like leave the job. Mitchie and a couple of the other like main characters from the first movie become camp counselors, and they start like teaching everyone. And it's like really not that big of a deal. They start really bad at it and they're overwhelmed, and then they start getting better and better and better at it. And they're like, you know what? We should go over to the other camp again and make them know what they missed out on. So they go over and they do this stupid dance. And this is the one that like they all show where it's like, Camp Rock! And then it's like, Camp Rock! Camp Rock! But it's really awkward, and they do like a dance off, and then the dance off is horrible. And then Turner comes in and is like, you guys should do like a competition to each other, and we can broadcast it live and have like live voting and see who's the best camper. So they are starting practicing, but she's like going really ham on it, where she's like, we have to do this, why aren't you guys working? And then Shane gets like mad at her for working so hard, and she's like, the camp is going to close if we don't do good at this. And he's like, babe, I came for this camp for you, why can't you freaking hang out with me? And he gets like super pissed off, which is kind of crazy that like he gets so mad at her because she's literally just trying to save the camp. And he's like, why don't you just freaking relax and lay off? Like, I came in for you and you're not even like, you don't even like it. Like, yeah, like I was trying to figure out the real you and I guess I found it. And it's like, what, a hard worker? Someone who cares about this thing that she's not even running herself, that she wants to help someone keep their business running? I hate Shane. Like, you could help her plan choreography or help her write a song. But no, you're like, I want to do fun stuff that's not related to the work. Why aren't you doing it with me? Why aren't you taking time out of your busy schedule to do stuff with me? Well, instead, he could get off his lazy ass and help her.
Are you here to help?
I can't.
Why?
Because you and I are going on a moonlight picnic.
How could you?
Because I'm that nice of a guy.
Do you not understand everything that needs to get done?
How could I not when I have you reminding me every 2 seconds? The whole reason I came was because
I know, was to get to know me better. Well, guess what? This is me trying to save something that I care about.
They have like a huge argument, and then the next day he organized everyone to do more practice and like get everyone into shape. And she's like, what's going on? They're like, Shane organizes all. We were all up before dawn. And she's like, okay. And it's like, girl, you could have done this before. Shane, why did you do it only whenever you wanted to get on her good side? A side plot throughout the entire story is that Nate is a peeping Tom. I am not kidding you. He has binoculars and sits on the edge of the lake and watches Dana. They met once. But she like is like into it. She's like, hey. They meet up for like the second time ever, and she has written his name in like Sharpie across here. They met once. They're kind of perfect for each other. They're both creepy. Except for hers has nothing to do with him and like the way that she's like stalking him, because he is stalking her. Not like stalking her, but borderline stalking. It's very creepy. And it's supposed to be like this funny thing where he's like, I'm just so nervous to talk to her, so I'm just gonna like watch her from afar. And it's like, you are going to end up on a Dateline episode. Like, oh my goodness. It's so weird because she's like just being like, hey, so like, what do you like doing? He's like, why do you even care? Why do you even need to know? And so it's just like a normal conversation where she's like, hey, like, I just want to get to know you. And he's like, oh, why do you even need to know all this stuff? Like, I don't even blah, blah, blah. And it's like, girl, this is what talking is. You do this with anybody you meet.
I really know nothing about you.
I still don't know what I'm supposed to say.
He's like, I thought we would just like look at each other because that's what I've been doing this whole time. His like character arc is him being like, maybe I could tell you about stuff about myself. So he goes over to that camp and starts singing her a song about things that are about him, but it's like really basic. He's like, I like money and guitar, and it's like, that's the most basic shit I've heard.
I eat cheese, but only on pizza. I like really cool guitars and superheroes and checks with lots of zeros on them.
The most like meaningless basic shit, and she's like, thanks, babe. And it's like, you couldn't have just talked about this. Like, you could have just been like, oh yeah, some of my interests. I mean, I'm in a band with my brother, so I like guitar. Skip to whenever the competition happens. It's really sad because it's very clear camp started better. Like, it's not good by any means, but you can tell they worked hard on choreography and their costumes are all the same. And whenever Camp Rock goes, they find out that Turner, like from Camp Star, has sent a message out to like everybody in the area, like really big area, to like message them and be like, click here to vote for Camp Star, before Camp Rock even performed, which I feel like it wouldn't open until after they both went, but it doesn't matter. Like, so it just shows that he's like pretty much just cheating to win, but they go and it's so bad. I know they were trying to go for like, oh, this is summer camp, this is fun, and they have like videos going in the background of like all the fun stuff, so it's like, this is basically just like a a really sad plea for votes. In the earlier parts of the movie, it showed them making costumes. So it's like, girl, did we just not do that? It's very clear that they're not gonna win, even without the cheating. Like, they just kinda suck. Camp Star wins, but Camp Rock, like, they're all, like, upset. They're all, like, they go back to their own camp and are kind of, like, sulking around the fire, and then they get, like, then they start getting a bunch of calls being like, hey, can I send my kids there next year? Because they all saw it on TV, and they were like, hey, that looks more fun, because it's, like, I want to send my kid to a summer camp that's fun, not, like, because I want them to be, like, a famous singer. So a lot of people are coming, and then a bunch of people from Camp Star go over in boats. It literally is like they're storming them and like just gonna like kill and pillage everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh my gosh, guys, run inside, lock the doors. But that is not true. They are fine, and they're like, hey, can we join? He's like, yes. But it's like, I would be like, give me money first. Like, you have to pay. Like, you were sleeping outside until you had to pay. That's literally the end of the movie, where it's like, oh my gosh, so many people are wanting us because they saw how great our performance was. Okay, girl. I'm sure it's that and not the fact that Shane Gray was singing. I don't really have much else to say about it. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, because if you don't, you're going to a summer camp that is broke and you're gonna have to work all summer. Okay. Bye!